Hello guys, the update. So please stay calm, it isn't the V10, there is no V10 out there, it is still the V9. There is quite a lot of major improvements in my opinion, so I'm going to show you what's new. Once again, I really don't have so much time those times, so yeah, it won't be a fancy video, but I'll show you everything you need to know. Okay, so let's start. First, with the Arduino Code. The goal of this project is to make it the easiest to build while keeping the same level of quality. And one problem a lot of people faced is the library installations. In theory, it shouldn't be a problem, but many people had issues with this. So since I think the version 2.6 of the code, all the libraries are included, and it was really hard to do for me because it's something completely new, and it may be 2 months to get everything inside the Arduino code. So you can see on top here you get all the libraries now included, so you don't have to care about the libraries anymore. So this was the first big improvement. Then maybe you remember the gear indicator that is directly plugged in the gearbox. This thing is really nice because it gets the gear directly from the gearbox. The problem is that if you are not using the gearbox, by example, if you are driving a GT3 car, with paddle shifters, the gearbox can't know the gear, so this thing remain empty. And I really thought that it wasn't really satisfying, because if it is empty, isn't satisfying, right? Okay, so what I did is that I worked on Simucube to make the whole gearbox recognized by Simucube. It means that Simucube can connect the gearbox and send any data that we want. And now we can configure the RGB matrix, and as you can see, is working. And it's really a big improvement because previously, if you wanted to change the design, the color, or anything on the gear indicator, you had to change the code, and it was quite a nightmare. And now you benefit from all the options on Simucube. So basically, the brightness, or anything you want. In fact, I didn't went very far with this, but anyway, you get the point. It is recognized by Simucube. On top of that, some people had issues running the gearbox because of Simucube. You know that Simucube scans all the USB ports, and it can mess some hardware, and in fact it was messing with the gearbox, and it made the gearbox extremely slow. And now, because it is recognized as a Simucube device, there isn't this problem anymore. The Simucube will connect with the gearbox, and if you don't have Simucube, no problem at all. It doesn't change anything. It will run as smooth as before. So it's really a great improvement. It also means that you can plug anything you want on the gearbox that is connected to Simucube. From the moment, the only thing that is supported is the gear indicator, in fact, and you can't use the interface from Simucube. You can't use I guess you know this. Is it loading? Yes. You can't use this to flash the gearbox. Okay. If you do this, you won't have the gearbox features. So for the moment, you just had this. Due to this, the Arduino code is now far heavier. In fact, you get where is it here? You get a full Arduino installation. It weighs about 140 MO, so it is quite big. It comes with the idea you need to use because it has the right libraries, and also obviously the code you need to flash. And as you can see, the names are quite straightforward. So once again, a big step above. Think about it, you don't have any device out there that is compatible with Simucube out of the box. Nothing, except some gear indicator maybe, but except this, nothing. And now we can use whatever we want with Simucube, and I'll show you next what I did. Okay, then on the free files there is some minor changes, but honestly I won't document those changes because they are minor. And in fact this gearbox is meant to be sent to YouTubers, and in fact I didn't update all the parts because it is really minor. So next, you will see it's a great thing. From the beginning of this project, I think the main goal was to have the clutch system. There isn't so many gearbox that do this, and I really wanted this. It was the main goal. So you had on the V8 the cable and the hydraulic system. I just kept the cable system for the V9, and something interesting is that at the beginning I was thinking about using a motor, in fact a stepper motor. It is the version 2. Obviously it hasn't been printed, but you can see there a stepper motor arm, and it was locking the slider here. So I get rid of these solutions after that, because if you are using a motor you need a power supply. It means an extra cable, and I don't want it to have two cables, a USB cable and a power supply cable. And you also need a cable from the clutch pedal sensor to the gearbox to get the clutch pedal position. So anyway, you need to have something between the gearbox and the pedal. And I thought, right, if I already had something between those two, it's better to directly have a mechanical cable and work with this. And then 2 years later, NSH Racing told me that I'm working with them. They will sell a commercial version of this gearbox. They said that you can use small motors that are directly powered by the Arduino. Obviously it will be very tiny motors, but it does work. And I thought, okay, quite interesting. So you don't need that extra cable. And then I thought, okay, I still need to get the clutch pedal position, but I thought there is no point in having directly a link between the clutch pedal and the gearbox. You can just get the information directly from the computer. In fact, it is Simucube that directly sends the clutch pedal positions. You can see it there. You will find everything in the documentation, obviously. But here I get just a line where I send the clutch pedal position and if the game is running or not. By the way, this work has been made quite easy thanks to Zero on the Discord that already had a clutch, a servo based clutch on the V8, and he helped me a lot with the Simucube integrations. In fact, the basic code is from him, so thanks to him. And that means that we get everything we need. And as you can see, there is no extra cable. Okay, the gear indicator here, it is just the cable for the gear indicator, and it just works out of the box. And you know, it's very handy to use because you can just disable it by assigning a button on the button plate. And you know, with the cable system, you had to press the clutch pedal, open the cover, and move a small part to lock the system in open position. So it's really something extremely convenient. And in fact, I didn't thought that it would be very effective, and I thought while working on it that I would keep the cable system for me. And honestly, I get rid of this because the cable system is very inconvenient. You need to have installed on the gearbox at the beginning. You need to fix it on the clutch pedal, and it isn't really easy to use. And this thing is so much more convenient. You know, you get Simucube just sends the running game information. So when you aren't driving, the system unlock itself, so you can basically change from, you know, sequential to H pattern easily. And yeah, it's very convenient to use. And obviously it works, so I will just show you there. And as you can see, obviously no mechanical link between the joystick and the. You see that it works. Obviously there is no mechanical link between this gamepad and the play system, and it just works. And I think that if I exit the game, it will unlock, as you can see. So once again, very easy to use for the moment. So I will put everything online. It's ready to use. Let's be honest, the servo motor is quite undersized. Okay, is I think that it is almost the biggest servo motor that the Arduino can power. I think I would try if I can bigger motor, but it does work, but you really need to have a proper assembly. There is absolutely no problem in normal use. The problem is if you preload the lever between before pressing the clutch pedal, it preloads here the system, and because there is a lot of friction, you really need to have the best assembly possible if you want it to unlock. It can remain, if the assembly isn't perfect, the system can remain locked if you preload the shifter before pressing the clutch pedal. But in normal use, I mean, if you just press the pedal and then push the lever, it works perfectly. But once again, yeah, it's a little bit undersized, but you know, this model costs, I think, about maximum €5, so it is a very cheap system. I hope that I will be able to optimize it maybe a little bit more, but it just does work. I have it on my rig, and I just love it. So handy to use. So once again, it's a big step, a big step above what we previously had. Once again, it's not just a gearbox. It's, I think we can say that it is a brain for your rig. You can do so many things. You know that you have the joystick mode. There is so convenient to use. You see the mouse moving here. You have the buttons here, you know, with an accelerator, and yeah, so many things this gearbox can do. And personally, if this gearbox isn't on my rig, well, I don't use my rig because it lacks so many features that are so handy to use. Okay, so I will finish to put the documentation online. I'll put all the relevant links in the description. Please subscribe to the channel, and see you soon.